All right, I got a question for y'all, and I'm just throwing this out there just for the sake of opening a dialogue. I'm curious what y'all's take is on the Zen culture that we have. It seems super prevalent everywhere I go, particularly in my profession in sales. Like, it seems like everybody's using these things. I kind of got onto the bandwagon about a year ago, and no, Spencer, I'm not going to blame you for it. I'm responsible for my own choices. But I started using these things about a year ago, and oh my gosh, these things, I see some benefit to them. I think there's, at certain times of the day, they're probably better than coffee, but oh my gosh, they're like extremely addictive. I'm like daisy chaining them all day long. And I'm somebody who's particularly interested in health and wellness and longevity. I spend a lot of time, dialing in nutrition, training, sleeping right, supplementation. And, I gave up drinking, a while back just because it wasn't healthy. I didn't feel like that's something that served me, but I've continued to use these things even when I've quit. It is so hard to quit. And the real gut punch to me happened recently. I've got kids, and my 11-year-old son asked me if he could have a Zen. And I thought to myself, what are you smoking, dude? No, you can't use these things. But he asked me again, well, how old do I have to be to buy them? 18. He's like, well, I'm going to use Zens. And it made me realize, what example am I setting for my kids? They know I'm addicted to these things. They're hard to kick. And I've had many doctors, some of them are on social. They're going to see this, that have tried to convince me that these things are pretty bad. Fortunately, my doctor is not on LinkedIn, so she's not going to see this. So I don't mind talking about it. She thinks I quit, I think. But nope, Kathy, I haven't. But I'm wondering about the example that I set. So I thought about this when I was 11 years old. When I was my son's age, I kept asking my dad, can I have a cigar? Can I have a sip of your beer? Can I do this or that? Right. And he was with his buddies one night. This is not really good parenting advice, but all the guys were hanging out. They were watching football. And I think my dad's friends had gotten to him, and they're like, come on, Tom, let him have a beer. Let him have a cigar. And so they sat me down on the tailgate and gave me a cigar, gave me a beer, and said, hey, you've got 20 minutes to smoke this cigar. And whatever you don't smoke in 20 minutes, you got to eat. You accept that challenge? For sure. I'm down. Let's do this. And oh, by the way, if you want some Copenhagen, you can have that too. So being a wise consumer at that age,